The desert night was quiet, but inside the small military outpost in Afghanistan, the silence was heavy with tension. The distant hum of helicopters and the occasional echo of gunfire reminded everyone that danger was never far away. Sergeant Daniel Harper sat on the edge of his cot, his uniform dusty, his hands trembling just slightly. In his pocket lay a folded photograph, his wife Emily holding their little daughter Lily, both smiling in the summer sunshine back home in Virginia. That photograph was his anchor, the only thing that made him feel human after endless days of patrols, firefights, and loss. Tonight, he had a chance to call home. The satellite phone felt heavy in his hand as he stepped outside under the cold Afghan moon. He dialed the number by memory, his heart pounding harder with every ring. Then, finally, her voice. "Daniel? Oh my God, it's you!" Emily's voice burst through the static, full of relief, full of love. Daniel closed his eyes, swallowing the lump in his throat. Hey, sweetheart. It's me." From inside the barracks, a few of his fellow soldiers smiled knowingly. They'd all made those calls, the ones that carried both joy and sorrow, because none of them ever knew if it would be their last. "How are you? Are you safe?" Emily asked, her voice shaking. In the background, Daniel could hear the faint laughter of their daughter, Lily. He smiled. "I'm okay. Tired, but okay. How's my girl doing?" "She's growing up so fast," Emily said softly. "She started preschool last week. She drew a picture of you, standing in your uniform with a big heart next to it. She tells everyone her daddy is a hero." Daniel's throat tightened. He could almost see her, Lily, with her golden hair and bright eyes, proudly talking about a father she barely got to see. "I miss her so much, Em. I miss you both more than I can say." There was a long silence. Both of them knew time was short. Calls like this weren't easy to get, and every second mattered. "Daniel," Emily whispered, "promise me you'll come home. Promise me you'll walk through that door again." Daniel's eyes stung. He wanted to promise. He wanted to swear on his life that he'd be there, that he'd see Lily grow, that he'd grow old with Emily by his side. But out here, in the heart of a war zone, promises were fragile things. "I promise I'll do everything I can," he said finally, his voice breaking. Emily tried to stay strong, but tears streamed down her face as she held the phone. She wanted to freeze this moment, to never let go of his voice, to keep him safe through sheer willpower. And then the call wavered. Static filled the line. Daniel knew he had to say it now before the connection was lost. "Emily, listen to me. If anything happens, I need you to know. I love you, more than anything in this world. Tell Lily her daddy is proud of her, always." Emily shook her head violently, clutching the phone. "Don't you dare talk like that. You're coming back to us, Daniel. You have to." Daniel's voice grew softer, almost like a whisper carried on the wind. "You and Lily are my everything, no matter what happens. I'll always be with you." The line crackled, and for a moment Emily thought the call had dropped. Then she heard it. Lily's voice, small and innocent as she took the phone from her mother. "Daddy?" Daniel's heart shattered. "Hey, baby girl. It's Daddy. I love you so much, Lily." "I love you too, Daddy," she said, her voice pure and sweet. "And when are you coming home?" Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He pressed the photo in his pocket tightly, as though it could give him strength. Soon, sweetheart. Soon." And then the line went dead. Back in Afghanistan, Daniel lowered the phone slowly, staring into the night sky. Around him, the camp was alive with motion. Trucks rumbling, soldiers preparing for another mission. He knew what awaited him tomorrow. He knew the risks. But at that moment, he also knew that love was stronger than fear. Hours later, as dawn painted the mountains in shades of gold, Daniel and his unit went out on patrol. It was supposed to be routine, but war has no respect for routine. An ambush, gunfire erupting from the cliffs, explosions ripping through the dust. In the chaos, Daniel acted without hesitation. He shielded his fellow soldiers, drawing fire away from them. Bullets tore through the air, grenades shook the ground, and yet he stood firm until the moment came when fate claimed him. When the dust cleared, Sergeant Daniel Harper was gone. Back home, days later, Emily stood on her porch as two uniformed officers approached. She knew before they spoke. She knew before they handed her the folded flag. She knew because in her heart she had felt the silence the night the call ended. The funeral was filled with hundreds, soldiers, family, strangers who had heard his story. Emily held Lily's hand tightly as they laid him to rest, the sound of the bugle carrying through the air. Lily whispered softly, "Goodbye, Daddy." Emily closed her eyes. She remembered his voice on that last call. "I'll always be with you." And somehow she knew it was true. His love, his courage, his sacrifice, it lived on in their hearts forever. Sergeant Daniel Harper's story was not just one of war, but of love. A love so powerful that even in the face of death, it became eternal. His last call was not a goodbye. It was a promise that heroes never truly leave us. And as Emily tucked Lily into bed that night, She looked at the stars and whispered, "He's watching over us." "Baby girl, always." The night was quiet again. But this time, it was filled with the unshakable presence of a soldier's love, a love that could never be silenced.